Hi everyone. So, welcome to my channel. I was not tagged, but I thought I would do this tag anyway. Tiffany from LV Coffee Lover did this, and Andre did this, and I went and I saw both of these ladies' answers, and I thought it was really fun. So I thought I decided to do it, and so I went to Andre's. I'll link both of their channels below. I went to Andre's video and I wrote down the questions. So I'm just going to go through and answer them. But before I go through all of this, I want to let you know that the 100% of the proceeds that I get from my YouTube and 100% of the proceeds that I get from any affiliate links that you might click on will be going to the Food Bank and Humane Society. And so, and I make piddly money and from those. So I'm gonna add that to what my husband and I normally donate. So I wanted to know that. So if you're supporting my channel, you're kind of helping, me support them. So that being said, here are the questions. Okay, who are you in lockdown with, and who are you seeing during the lockdown? So I'm in lockdown with my husband, my daughter, my two dogs. My dog Boomer, you've all met. Those of you who've been following me, my dog Toki, who is 13 weeks old, and he is sleeping right next to me. Let's see. There he is. Can you see him? Oh my goodness, look at him. He's so cute. Look at him. Anyway, all right. So he is, so Toki, and who am I seeing during this lockdown? I'm seeing my sister in passing. So she'll come in, drop things off from my mom or whatever in passing. I see my parents in passing with masks. My sister and I are getting the groceries for my parents, and we literally put it, I particularly, because of my husband's job, I feel like I'm more at risk of getting it. So I put it in the garage. My mom takes it in. If I have to go to my mom's house to take care of something or pay a bill or whatever, I put a mask on, I wash my hands, and I don't dilly dally. I do my job and I leave. So that's who I'm seeing, and my brother-in-law, my sister's husband. So we've seen them again in passing, very short periods of time. 2, what is your favorite thing about lockdown? My favorite thing about lockdown is having my daughter home. My daughter hasn't been home this long since high school, since she went off to college. And those of you who've been following me for a while know that she was stuck in Ecuador when she went to the Galapagos Islands, and you know what horrendous things that we had to go through. And we finally got her home. And when I told her to come back home to the United States, I told them to come home here rather than going back to New York City, where her apartment is and where she works. So she came here, and since then she's been sort of, the New York City was in lockdown, this state was in lockdown, and she is able to work remotely from our house. So she's been here since March, like rest of March, April, May. So like 2 months. It's great. And she's a fabulous cook. So she's been making dinner for us, which is why I'm gaining weight. I blame it on her. Okay. What is your least favorite thing about lockdown? Least favorite thing about this lockdown is not seeing my parents, and just hanging out with them. I used to have breakfast with my parents at Panera Bread at 7 o'clock in the morning, every morning. Usually, 7 days a week. And we would sit there, talk about politics, talk about what's going on with the kids, talk about what's going on with their church. It was really nice. And now I don't have that. We don't see our parents. We did see our parents last 2 weekends. The weather was fabulous here. And my sister has a huge deck with lots and lots of furniture. So we sat outside and had lunch together. And it was really nice. Even though we were 6 feet apart, just having that, chatting about nothing. That was nice. But that's what I miss. I miss my breakfast with my parents. Okay. Okay, what's your least favorite things? Okay, number 4. What, if anything, are you worried about? Um, really? Stupid thing to worry about. Nothing about my family. I'm not. Well, I'm worried about my son because he's in Boston. He's a first year in grad school over there, and his school went virtual. And at first, I was worried because like a lot of the people who had jobs didn't have jobs anymore. He was able to acquire a job despite what was going on, and in fact he was able to get some additional funding, so that's really happy for him. But I am a little worried that he has to go a couple times a week to the place to go to work, but he's taking all the precautions, so I'm hoping he's okay. Luckily he's there with his girlfriend and they're cooking and you know, together, and it looks like he's eating well, so I'm happy about that. But I wish that he was here next to me, but it is what it is. The other thing I'm worried about is I'm worried actually for the kids kind of globally, for American kids, especially in underprivileged areas where they're, you know, if they're not going to open the schools. I really worry about how much further these kids are going to be in their education. If you thought that there was already the educational gap between the privileged kids and the underprivileged kids, or the kids who are living in the wealthier neighborhood versus a poor neighborhood, there's going to be even greater disparaging gap between the education level that's being. I mean, you know, I think I read somewhere or I heard somewhere that a lot of the kids who are staying home and supposedly getting online education are not, or, you know, homeschooling, many kids are not getting the kind of education that they would have gotten at school. So that's worrisome. I mean, I don't know when it's gonna all open up. I hope the schools go back, and maybe the teachers need to, and this is really getting into politics, but maybe the teachers who are at risk, you know, should be paid but not work closely with those kids. And certainly the kids, you know, maybe not see their relatives or grandparents who may be at risk if the kids are carrying the virus. But something has to be done. They can't just stay home not getting any education for indefinite period of time. So okay, so that's my soapbox. Okay, number 5. Who are your unsung heroes aside from healthcare workers? Unsung heroes really are sanitation workers. I can't imagine how horrible it would not seem normal if we couldn't get our trash picked up. And I hope they got extra money during this time, because, I mean, talk about being at risk, right? And we know healthcare workers, EMT workers, they're, you know, we understand, but I don't think people think about sanitation workers. So yes, definitely sanitation workers. Okay, so what's next? Do you know anyone with a virus? No, I don't know. Well, no, I take it back. I knew 2 people with a virus. They're the 2 people that I volunteer with. I do pet therapy, visit nursing homes, and anyway. So 2 of those volunteers came down with COVID-19 when it was at the very early stages. We didn't know what it was. They didn't know what it was. And it turned out to be, they were tested and they did have COVID-19. But luckily we hadn't visited. I had decided to curtail our visits like 3 weeks, a month before this happened. So, you know, we didn't risk any people, any nursing home residents. So that was, we were like, oh my gosh, thank God they hadn't been to the visits in a while. Okay. Are you wearing a mask and gloves when going out? So I wear a mask every time I go out, because just in case I happen to carry the virus and don't know that I have it, at least I'm protecting other people. That's what those masks are for. They are to protect others, not necessarily protect me from other people. Because if I sneeze or whatever, it stays inside my mask, okay? The gloves, I don't, because I wash my hands anyway, and with hand gloves, it's like you don't want the virus to touch your hand, then you touch your face. I just make sure that I wash my hands. As soon as I get in my car, I wipe my hands and the spaces around me, including my steering wheel, inside of my car, everything with a Clorox wipe. But I don't wear gloves. I did initially, but then I was going through it and I thought, oh my gosh, I feel like I could just wash my hands and save with the environmental pollution. Okay. Let's see. Are you eating, drinking more / exercising less or more? Okay. I'm not exercising at all. I used to do yoga every single day, and I don't do that anymore. I could at home, but let's face it, I'm lazy, so I'm not doing it. I have been eating Skinny Pop. Now, this Skinny Pop, I ate so much this morning. This is going to be gone by either tonight or by tomorrow afternoon. It'll be gone. It's addicting. And the Skinny Pop, it's really not skinny. It's, if you eat the whole bag, it's a lot of calories. So, but anyway. And like I said before, my daughter is a fabulous cook, and she works really hard during the day, and she's on conference calls. In fact, she's on a conference call now. And then around 5-6 o'clock in the evening, she'll come down. She says, I gotta cook. I need to relax. And her relaxation is cooking. How lucky am I? So anyway, so I think that's probably really, it's me. I eat too much. I don't exercise. I've been gaining weight. Okay. So that's not good. That's not good at all. All right. Number 9. What have you learned from lockdown, and what changes will you make? I don't think I'll make any changes. I think I'm 57. I've lived through a lot of stuff. This is a worst. Nothing like this has ever happened. But I've always valued my family. Except for the occasional luxury handbag purchases, I really don't spend. I don't like to shop. It's stressful to shop for me because I can't make a decision. If somebody would go shopping with me and go, okay, you need to buy this, because this will look good on you. Great. That's usually my sister. But since I haven't seen my sister in a while. What have you learned? You know what? That's the other thing I miss. I miss going shopping with my sister. Yep, I do miss that. What have you learned from, what have you learned, what changes? So no changes, really, I think. What have I learned? I've learned, seems like, this is going to be kind of political. Take it for what it is. Everybody has different opinions. People say a lot of things in the name of science, and the science changes, right? So people say, you got to do this, because that's what the science says. Well, science has been wrong many, many times during this whole pandemic. And it kind of reminds me of, when people said, scientifically, the world is flat, or scientifically, this race is better than this race. It's not quite the same. It's not quite the same. That's not, I'm not trying to equate racial superiority, what people think of racial superiority as what's going on with the COVID-19 pandemic. But I hate it when, especially in the media, they go, science says this. Why are you not doing this? So everybody has different opinions as to when the country should open up. And I don't like it when somebody says science says this, because that's their science, and that science might change. And things have changed. At first it was, no, you can't get COVID-19 from person to person transfer. You can. You can't get COVID-19, no mask. Mask is useless. In fact, I saw a clip of the Surgeon General coming up, going on TV and saying it's useless. You could, people might not know how to use a mask, so don't use a mask. Wrong. I don't want to, this channel is not about politics, so I'm not going to go into it, but yes, that's what I've learned. I've learned that the media, I think I've seen it more now than ever before. There is definite media bias to the right and bias to the left. And if we could just get along somewhere in the middle and not blame each other side as, oh, you're trying to kill everybody. Oh, you're trying to, prevent me from working. You don't care about people's health. We all care about people's health. We all want people to not lose their jobs. We just have to find a way to do it safely, I think. Okay, enough of that. All right, let's see. What's the first thing you'll do after lockdown? Okay, our state is out of lockdown. We haven't done anything differently. I still don't think I would go to a restaurant, sit-down restaurant. I will still do takeout food, but I don't think I will do sit-down restaurants. I will go to my hairdresser. So really, not lockdown, not much different. I think when we're talking about rather than lockdown, when the virus cure has been found or immunization has been, it's been figured out, then I'll go on a vacation. I'll go on a cruise, or maybe we'll go to Europe. We were going to go to Galapagos. In fact, we should have been in Galapagos right now. We had a cruise plan to Galapagos Islands. We were going to go to Quito for a couple days, and then we were going to fly to Galapagos Island and go on celebrity cruise, and it was going to be really, really nice. And now the cruise industry, as expected, canceled it, but we've just decided that we'll take it another time. So we didn't take the refund. Maybe we should have. I don't know if we'll get our money back. If knock on wood, hopefully they won't go under. I hope all the travel industry does not go under. But yes, vacation. That's what I want to do. How do you feel about shopping and luxury? Okay, shopping and luxury. I never really liked to shop. Online shopping, I never know my size, so I didn't know what to. So usually what happens is that I am online looking at things to buy, but I should not say never, but it's very rare that I click buy and pay with credit card. But if people are happy shopping and it gives them, it makes them happy for a moment that they get their stuff and they get their things in mail and it makes them excited, great. You do you and everything's great. But I can't watch luxury YouTube channels where they are spending tremendous amount of money on luxury items when, a few minutes before I've seen people in food lines. So that just seems not the right time to me. And I don't, it's not just buying, Speedy Nano or whatever unboxing. It's not that kind of stuff, or it's certainly not things that people bought before this whole thing happened. But when I see videos when somebody's talking about something super, super expensive, like $500,000 rings or $500,000, stuff in their closet, and millions of, hundreds of thousands of dollars of stuff in their closet, it doesn't seem right when people are, and to be honest, they could be donating boatload of money and I don't know it. And maybe this is, they're so wealthy that this is whatever. So it is not right. I know it's not right of me to judge them. And I'm not trying to judge them. It's just that it doesn't feel right to see that online on YouTube. So that's it. Okay, I think that's it. All right, I hope you like this video. Oh my gosh, I'm getting in 20 minutes. I'm not gonna do any editing. If you like this video, give this a thumbs up, and gosh, what are the words I say? Give this a thumbs up, subscribe, click the bell notification so that you would be notified every time I upload more videos. My next video, I think I'm working on it. This one, I just decided to do it now, so I'm just gonna upload it now, done. But my next video is going to be, I think, the multi-pochette accessoire. I've had it for 8 months, so kind of a review. I'm gonna use my daughter as a model. So anyway, okay, bye.